My dear students, welcome to your online class. Let me first introduce myself to you, as this is my first class with you all. My older students definitely knows me very well. To the new ones, you can also know me. We will know each other very well in coming days, so that our class becomes much easier. So myself, Divas Rana, I will be taking a geography class from today onwards. So today, the first class, we will be discussing about the chapter that is endogenous process and associated landforms. I'll not take much depth of the chapter for now, but let me just introduce you about the endogenous processes that leads to the formation of various landforms on this earth surface. So the first thing that we need to know as part of introductory class with this endogenous process, you can understand that endogenous means internal force. Endogenous means internal force. That means the force that acts inside the earth's crust or in the earth's interior. You must have all learned about the different layers of the earth's interior in the earlier chapters, like crust, mantle and core. So in that chapter, you learned that how the density, temperature, pressure, they all varied as we moved deep inside the earth's crust. At the same time, we also got to learn in the chapter, that is the internal structure of the earth, that the characteristics, that the crust is solid, the mantle is semi-liquid, and then the core. Again solid because of enormous pressure to it. So this internal force that we are talking about, or endogenous force, as we see, how is it generated or how it happens to affect in formation of landforms. So what we learned, as like I said, the crust, the mantle. For now, you studied that the crust is solid and mantle is semi-liquid. And in this case, what we see, that the crust, though it is solid, but its density is less, with ranging from 2 to 2.7, while that of mantle, it goes up till 5. So this difference in the density and the characteristics, the matter being either solid or liquid, has a great role to play in the emergence of these internal forces. So how it happens is, now say this mantle which is semi-liquid, over this mantle the crust floats. Over the mantle, the crust floats because the crust has lesser density. So this flotation causes movement of the crust. Have you ever imagined that the earth moves? I'm not talking about rotation or revolution, but you see the ground beneath you where you're standing is moving. It's moving even now. Would you imagine this? How this happens? This is just because the crust floats over mantle. You can take an example. You make an experiment at home today. Take a bucket of water and just pluck a leaf. Put that leaf on the water. You see that it will not sink. It will float. And that floating leaves, you see, will slowly and very gradually move. You will not even know the movement of that leaves. So this is why, again, now I say, as like I said, that we move, no? The earth underneath us moves. The ground that you see, where you're standing, it moves. But we don't feel it because the movement, this internal force which causes what? Movement of the crust. It causes movement of this crust, and the movement is very slow. Now this very movement is known as the internal forces or endogenous process. So we will now discuss in details in the next class that how does these forces affect in forming various major landforms on this earth surface. Thank you very much, class.